And with all those upgrades done, I really think this bike handles super well. You know, I'm going through all this. I say all that, and that's the reason you don't try to do this one-handed. On this James the Bike Guy, I'm here at Douglas State Forest with my dog, and we're about to take the very last ride on my Project Fuel EX. I've had that bike for over a year, and something has just tempted me that, well, it's time to replace it. So let's go ahead and have a great ride on this bike. I'll tell you what my experience was like with it, and then of course give some hints on what you're gonna see here soon. It's a beautiful day here in central Massachusetts. You know, end of April, and it is finally getting warm. Short sleeves on, all the fun things. And that also means it's kind of time for a new bike. So like I said in that intro, this is very well may just be the last ride on the Trek Fuel EX. Not because I didn't like the bike, but because a new one has come up as an opportunity, and I just can't help myself. I do have to say, this thing rides so dang well though. So while we're rolling in on this fire road to get into the trails, you know how we started this video? It's definitely true. Believe it or not, this is probably the last time I'll be on Project Fuel EX. And for the most part, I've absolutely enjoyed and loved having this bike. And to be fair, the only reason I'm getting rid of the bike is a new opportunities come up. But in that, if we step back to the very beginning, you'll remember I bought this bike and immediately stripped it. And that's because the plan was to be a project bike. The Fuel EX I bought right around 14 months ago, and that was right after I had sold my Santa Cruz Hightower, a fairly nice carbon bike, in the anticipation of this whole virus that was going around becoming something that was going to be a real problem. So I unloaded a bunch of my bikes and decided to buy the Fuel EX as a bit of a less expensive project bike to get a chance to build up an aluminum rig and see just how nice I could make it. And honestly, I think the build came out pretty nice. So this was the Fuel EX7 frame, but one of the reasons I chose the EX7 over any of the other bikes to do the build was the fact that this frame, although it says 7 on it, is the same frame that they use for the aluminum Fuel EX frame set. So back in 2020 you could buy the frame set, but instead I bought the complete bike because it seemed like a better way to go to kind of get everything rolling. Oh god, she's going for a swim. Yeah! Woo! Shake it off! So one of the first major things I did was I dropped off the RockShox 35 fork for this Fox 34 Performance. And this is both quite a bit lighter than that RockShox 35, as well as the damping unit with the Fit Grip damper is a pretty high performing unit. The other major upgrade that I did was we've got Shimano's SLX drivetrains. This is the new SLX M7100, which is the 12-speed drivetrain, and for the most part this thing has been downright flawless. Obviously you can see it's gotten dung up a few times. The clutch works so nice on this, and it came out really good. And then the last kind of major upgrade to the bike, of course little things here and there, but was going to this Fox transfer dropper post. Transfer dropper post kind of made sense because it matched the Fox with a Fox float DPS that comes stock on the rear, and then that 34 up front. And so with a Shimano drivetrain, Shimano brakes, and the Fox setup, I feel like this thing built out really well. And I'll tell you, with several hundred miles on it, I really enjoyed it. So with all those upgrades done to the bike, I really feel like it made this rig an awesome trail bike. You know, pretty much everywhere I've been with this, I've been more than capable to ride through, even one-handed here. And you know, it's really been a fun ride, just like this place we're in right now. Here we go. Whew. That's some rocky stuff, but you know, the bike takes it pretty much no problem. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, you've only had this fuel a little over a year. You said you like it. Well, why would you be getting rid of it? And well, the simple answer is I'm making a bet based on what I think is going to be something I can get really good resale value out of this Trek with the COVID bike shortage. But I also can't shake the want to have a carbon mountain bike. You know, through things like this, carbon steering directness is just that little bit better. And then of course, it's a little lighter and it rides nicer too. So when my local bike shop got in a bike that I had been drooling over online, it was sort of the right time. I mean, it is fair to say that this Trek fuel is no slouch. It's a great bike, even through this stuff. Whew. Holy smokes. How are you? Not too bad. It's a good day to be out. Figure it's time to give you a little information about the new bike. Now, you're likely going to see it here pretty soon on the channel as I get it built up, but that part's pretty important. So the bike I wanted, they couldn't quite get because of COVID, of course, but I was able to get a frame set. And what's really neat is nearly 1-to-1 everything on this Trek Fuel EX will cross over to the new bike. So same fork, same drivetrain. I did purchase new wheels, and speaking of wheels, it does need a different bottom bracket. The new one's threaded, and Wheels Manufacturing has got that covered by shipping me out one, which I gotta say thank you very much to them. But otherwise, the bike is going to be a 1-to-1 swap for the time being until I get my Eagle GX Axis group that I ordered for it. And the hope is, with it being a swap of 1-to-1, when I tell my wife about it tonight, she's not even going to be that pissed. So go ahead and wish me some luck by hitting the like button. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you can see more of these videos, and definitely leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Can't wait to hear what you think the new bike's going to be, and give me some thoughts if you want any upgrades instead of just swapping everything over all on its own. Well, have a great one and enjoy the ride.